On Twitter, our Twitter handle is UCT GSB Solutions. I'll repeat that, UCT GSB Solutions. And for MTN is at MTN Group. On Facebook, our Facebook handle is at UCT GSB Solutions, and MTN is capital MTN, followed by ZA. For the official welcoming, I'll hand over to Errol from the MTN Group.
Okay, thank you, and good day all, and a very, very warm welcome to the Solution Space eTrack Demo Day. So my name is Eero, and I am the Ecosystem Development Manager for MTN Digital, as well as the IOBA Super App platform. It's strange times we are living in. I already dropped the word virtual in front of the name of this event. I guess that means virtual is now just the new normal. There's a lot of suffering going on in South Africa at the moment, and globally. But I think that looking backwards in a few years' time, we will all wonder how people were living before the lockdown. Why did people go to malls when shopping online is so much more convenient? Why did we spend hours in traffic every day just to sit in front of our computers in the office when we can do everything as efficiently from home? Given that schools and kindergartens are open, of course. But I do have a feeling there will be a lot of office space available soon. And how about education? Is this the moment when education will truly and finally go digital, and we can start to bridge the inequality gap so persistent in the educational system here in South Africa? I certainly hope so. Access to top quality teachers and materials should really be accelerated through digital platforms and affordable connections going forward. I'm very happy to notice that we had a number of edtech startups in this cohort trying to solve these challenges. So, as it's often said by people much smarter than myself, never let a good crisis go to waste. I think the only real challenge the lockdown brings us today, apart from not able to hug each other, is the inability for us to offer you drinks during or after this celebration. But I trust your long-term planning skills are as good as your entrepreneurial spirit, so cheers to all anyway. So today we're going to have the following agenda. So an introduction from myself, followed by a short overview of the program by Associate Professor Mikael Samuelsson. We are then fortunate enough to hear a few words of wisdom from the UCT Vice Chancellor, Professor Pakeng. Following that, we'll see some of the highlights of the program before giving the stage to the 9 startups to give their pitches. And finally, we close with the awards. And I would just like to remind everybody that although we only give prizes to half the teams today, MTN, IOBA, and the Solution Space will be looking forward to working and supporting all of the teams pitching today. Before spoiling the suspense, I would like to thank everybody, the participants in particular, and the Solution Space team, as well as our other ecosystem partners in participating in our inaugural eTrack program. It is a bit of a cliche, but I'm sitting here again inspired by the progress every team has made. It's truly remarkable that from some vague ideas in the end of last year, the teams have worked hard to develop those ideas into pitches we're about to hear and see. Regarding the participating teams, individuals, and the submissions, I think I can speak on behalf of everyone involved by saying we are all impressed not only by the diversity of the ideas, but also by the quality of the pitches. This regardless of the challenges the lockdown put on our program. It's been, once again, a real privilege being part of this program. Thank you again for everyone, and let's keep innovating. And now over to Mikael.
Thank you, Eero, and also welcome to everybody from Solution Space. I will just briefly introduce you to the team and the setup and who we are and what the program looks like for you who haven't been through it. You have been through it. I agree with Eero. It's been a privilege to working with you guys over time. But starting out with the team, Piwe, keeping everything together, Dileka, keeping Philippi together, Sivu, marketing, Sheila, keeping the waterfront together, and myself trying to do something in between. So that's us. We were founded in 2014, and obviously we are at UCT, and that's our core focus, to work with research students, alumni, to create solutions to our major problems today. So that's why we're looking at things like health, education, poverty to some extent, from different angles. But we're always rooted in the market, but we use state-of-the-art technology or research in order to solve those problems. Looking forward, the ETRAC program is a twice-a-year program that we run with aspiring persons that not necessarily have an idea, but that could have an idea or want to work with a startup. So it's a partnership with MTN, so it's also built into the industry, academic and kind of real world space, I would say. We provide and you can take the next slide, please. So we start out with the future of. So instead of being backwards looking, we look at the future of things. So being in an entrepreneurial university, we should be able to also not just do research on what's been there. We should also look at the future of what we can do in order to help society to use the resources in a more effective way. So we start out a couple of times every year with the future of, and one of those we had so far is future of entertainment. We're also looking now at future of food, future of health, future of safety, future of transport, to start the idea process and also to create these places where people from different areas could meet. Because any successful firm or organization need people from different areas, both in life and from the subject point of view. The next support is that we basically have a venture launch program. So it is 3 + 3 months program. So you start with a venture launch course. It's an online or offline if that will happen at some point. And then you go through a 3 + 3 month program, where the first 3 months is in the solution space in Philippi or in waterfront, and the last 3 months is in our partners, in this case MTN and their facilities. It's a highly competitive process, and but as Eero said, we're not really kicking people out of it. So we obviously work with all of you as far as we can. And just to echo Eero's, it's really great to be part of this, and also not necessarily see all of you, but at least kind of feel it one way or the other. And I will hereby leave the word to Professor Pekeng, the UCT Vice Chancellor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mikael. While we wait for Professor Pekeng to join us, could we play the video, please?
A collaboration between the University of Cape Town and the MTN Group It's a support program for entrepreneurs that come out of the University of Cape Town. So the program provides support to alumni and students. So if you come through one of our academic programs and you decide to start your own business, we help you validate the opportunity in your idea quicker.
It's quite important. I mean, MTN needs to be seen as a platform. We can't innovate everything. You know, we need to work with partners, innovators, in bringing solutions to the communities that we serve. So for us, it's extremely important. Also, you know, as our business is becoming more complex, as we are entering into the digital services, we also need to create strong relationships with, you know, the innovators of the region. And hopefully even be able to attract some of them to come and join our teams and work with us in bringing innovation into the market as well. So far, I think there's many values that it's bringing to the table. Clearly, it has exposed us to a number of ideas and innovators that have really influenced the way we're thinking as a company into the future. I think that it's helping the company present itself beyond just a telco and really as a company that's trying to bring innovation into the markets and to the customers that we serve. There's been no lack of incredible ideas. And I think as we move forward, we are really starting to engage in fine-tune into, you know, how do we need to cooperate and hopefully shortly start bringing some of the ideas into the market.
The program has been excellent so far. I think that it's really taught us how to really think about our businesses and our business concepts and to try and to apply an integrative approach to our business. So from a branding perspective, from a financial perspective, from a project management perspective, it's really opened up our eyes into the entire program.
So the eTrack program has been quite remarkable for us. First, we were gaining a lot of knowledge around whether or not a business was actually viable. And that was very important to make those hard assessments. And then it moved into, you know, the very practical side of implementation. And that part of the eTrack program was incredible for us because of the level of intensive support, both in expertise and resources that was on offer. What we found really valuable was the way we were able to be connected directly to the current business need that we had. So we had, you know, a couple of very key areas that we were trying to achieve, and the connections that were provided for us to specific stakeholders that could enable us to then take it further forward in that specific way. You know, it was really fast-tracked, so that's been amazing.
The greatest value has been the accessibility to the resources that have been given to us. We have been given resources on how to think in an agile manner and to approach our problem solving from an agile perspective. We have been given the know-how of how to create better value propositions for the services that we are offering. We have also been given the opportunity to, you know, create a better pitch for our investors and to think in terms of how the venture capitalists view our products and our services.
It's been a great opportunity to really focus in a short amount of time and to really find the gaps in your business model and business plans. You get very caught up in what you're doing, especially content provision, and you forget about some of the business aspects that actually need to be ironed out as well, especially if you want to be attractive for investors or investment. But even just as business development, to understand where, you know, what we need to flesh out a bit further so that we can be a successful business. The support has been great with like the legal consults and the business advice, to have senior business, especially in a startup environment, to be able to weigh in on your journey. But also the cohort has been nice in exchanging ideas, and we're all in kind of the same boat, but at different stages, and just to understand their experience. Then also it's just a nice community, so you're not doing it alone. You've got your own team as well as the team of the cohort, so it's feeling very supportive, and it really forces you to get things done in a short amount of time.
The E-Track program has been so good, and it has been so beneficial to us as an entrepreneurs because it helped us to formulate our product, and it also helped us to put a lot more businesses into our company and relate them together, the product, also the company, so it will be easy for us to go to the customer and present something that is of business sense and that can yield results. Entrepreneurship is not what you actually learn from the book. Not everything is there. It is then that you see that everything is not in black and white.
I found the E-Track program to be really helpful and informative and very supportive as an environment. We have gained a lot of support and information in terms of IPs, copyright from the legal perspective, but also support in terms of financial knowledge, planning, and also project management. So it's been a really nice program where we've been able to get our business a lot further ahead than we would have normally.
So everyone seems really interesting. Everyone's really friendly. It's not really like a competitive environment. It's more communal. Everyone's willing to help each other. We all chat whenever we do see each other. So yeah, it's been like a really cool thing to be part of.
The entrepreneurship community has been really welcoming. Everybody's willing to help each other and share their knowledge. So it's been an interesting experience.
My experience of the E-Track program was awesome because I started with the first 5 weeks where I gained a lot of knowledge in running the business and just getting more information. And the current program right now is also just wonderful. The experience, the connections, and all the information that I'm gaining for the company, and personally, I'm gaining a lot of experience also. My greatest value from the program is simple things like the understanding of the financials, which I had a view, but I never understood the basics. My experience of the entrepreneur community is wonderful because as an entrepreneur, it's very lonely out there. And I'm finding that just connecting with other people that are in the similar position is giving me more insight and making me also accept certain elements that I was not really aware that everybody is going through the same, and I really enjoy that.
To find out about what we do, you can go to our website. We also have an open door policy where you can come in and we check through your product or your startup and we see if you would be a good fit for our program.
Thank you so much to the technical team. I see that the UCT's Vice Chancellor, Professor Pageng, has joined us. Over to you, Prof.
Hi, thanks. Thank you so much, Joyce. I've been watching the promos. I've been around for a while, but welcome and good morning to everyone who's joining us online. It's really wonderful connecting with you under these circumstances. It's an unusual world we live in. But we proceed, and it's probably good that we launching this this program today under these circumstances. So let me on behalf of UCT welcome all of you to this virtual E-Track program demo day. Through this event, we get to celebrate the birth and development of 9 new business models. The characteristic that they all have in common is this: they can reach anybody, anywhere in the world through the digital platform that the MTN provides. In other words, these businesses are not limited by geographical borders. In many ways, exactly what the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic has brought us into, making sure that we're not limited, not just by geographical boundaries, but also we are not limited by if we don't have physical connection, we can still connect. Another exciting characteristic of this demonstration is the way they use African creativity to cross other kinds of borders, the kinds of borders that keep so many people from living their best lives. Educational limitations, unemployment, physical disability, lack of access to assistance in legal matters, to financial management expertise, and to health and beauty and skills, and to security. We are going to see how these creative thinkers address common problems that affect people in all kinds of communities. And I want to thank the MTN Group for providing the platform and professional support to make the GSB Solution Space e-track program possible. MTN has taken a hands-on approach in every phase of this program, beginning with the rigorous pre-selection process to identify businesses that have potential not only in South Africa but in the international sphere as well. MTN is, of course, one of our greatest supporters as UCT. And so I want to thank them for engaging with us as the UCT leadership on our call to zero rating data for UCT sites, as well as special pricing for up to 30 gigs of data per month for our students who are now learning online. We are really grateful for the support that we receive from MTN, because it's in these difficult times that we as a university get to know our true friends, and MTN came through for us in that way as well. I'm also grateful to the Solution Space team here at the GSB, led by Program Manager Sheila Yabo, for bringing this innovative partnership into UCT. The GSB engages entrepreneurship communities through 2 Solution Space hubs at the waterfront and in Philippi, involving hundreds of community members and dozens of innovative companies. And I'm especially excited to see how the Solution Space e-track program is helping to expand our definition of community. It is no longer simply about geographical location or the types of people we serve or the types of people we empower to bring solutions into our world. Universities used to be limited communities of academics who often all looked the same, mostly male, mostly white, mostly Western in outlook. But a project like the Solution Space e-track program demonstrates how wide the UCT community actually is and how much wider we can become as we develop ways to serve different groups of people. UCT is a proven champion of entrepreneurship education, and not just at the graduate level. We're involved in a range of programs to support undergraduates as well as alumni in developing new ways to serve our communities through new business models. We know that entrepreneurs don't need just classroom training and skills. They also need an ecosystem of peers, funders, educators, mentors, and local support organizations to provide support and a sense of connection. The e-track program provides that kind of ecosystem. What we will see today is the culmination of an intense 12-week venture development process to mature each business plan into a viable project. The process began in November 2019, weeks before the first South African case of coronavirus disease 2019 was announced in the media. And today, as we watch the pandemic take effect across the world, some people might say this is the worst possible time to launch a new business. But the demonstrations we are seeing today are not traditional business practices. They represent a reality that we have known about for years, which is the need to disrupt how we do things now, to steer how the 4th Industrial Revolution can change our lives in South Africa, in Africa, and in the world. UCT's approach to the 4th Industrial Revolution is that we are seeking and developing ways to make changes in our world that can be enabled by the 4th Industrial Revolution, not only to prepare for it, but to make the best use of it for our communities. And the Solution Space e-track program is one demonstration of that approach. And this kind of forward thinking is just one of the characteristics that we at UCT are seeking to instill in our students, in our alumni, and the wider community where we operate. Other characteristics include the need, in particular by entrepreneurship, passion, energy, compassion, commitment, risk-taking, determination, flexibility, and optimism to pursue a goal despite the challenges that arise. While UCT's reputation is built on academic excellence and the knowledge we gain through rigorous research, an important aspect of our work is creating ways to transform the university and ways to exercise social responsiveness, bringing positive change to areas of need in the wider community. The community we serve can extend to a single neighborhood or reach all the way around the world as we do our research into climate change, urbanization, gender-based violence, poverty and inequality, and many other areas of study, including research on COVID-19. UCT focuses on this combination of excellence, transformation, and social responsiveness as ways to ensure our sustainability in the world of higher education. But I think it is a viable formula for the sustainability of South Africa's business community as well. And I see all these elements at work in the new ventures we are celebrating today. Truth is that entrepreneurs ask many of the same kinds of questions that socially responsive researchers and academics ask. What do people need? Why do they need it? How are they meeting that need now? And how can I, or my product, or my service, make it easier to meet that need? And the demonstrations that you have prepared are evidence that you have the vision to help transform our world. And I'm very excited to see not just what you're going to show today, but also what you'll be able to show in 5 years, in 10 years, or maybe in 20 years from now. It's all very exciting. And so I'm sure today is going to be very exciting experiencing what you're going to be sharing with us. Thank you very much, Sheila.
Thank you so much, Prof. Pecking, for those encouraging words and also for taking time out to come and share with us. We truly appreciate it. Next up, we'll be going on with the agenda onto the pitches from the startups. The first startup to do the pitch is Same Start.
Good morning, everyone. Just confirming you can see my screen, correct?
Not yet? Yes, we can.
You can. Okay, perfect. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Same Start pitch. I'd like you to meet Anita. Anita is a grade 7 student at a typical school in Africa. In Anita's country, South Africa, students with the first language, an African first language, are only taught in this language up until the end of grade 3 and are then required to immediately switch to English for the remainder of their school career. This is despite the fact that research shows that about 8 years of well-researched teaching is required for a language to be used as a learning medium. And Anita is not alone. There are about 410 million students aged 10 to 19 across Africa, and many of them face this problem. After working with students like Anita and seeing the serious lack of quality educational resources in African languages, I, together with my team, developed Same Start. Same Start's mission is to provide a fun, interactive education platform that acknowledges the fact that being an African first language student, instead of possibly detracting from the student's learning experience, is actually an incredible strength that should be harnessed. We do this by providing interactive content where words and paragraphs can, with just a tap, be translated into a student's native language. This is paired with interactive quizzes and advanced analytics to provide students with comprehensive, easy-to-use learning platform. We have also recently added online career guidance functionality, which is built for the African market, to help bridge the gap between school and the workplace. Through this, we also encourage vocational work, which is an extremely undervalued career path. We're also aiming to add more exciting functionality in the future, including data-free messaging and forums, where students and teachers can work together to create a more community-based learning experience. In terms of how we plan to generate revenue, we plan to rely on private subscriptions, monetizing our Yenza career guidance tool, online tutoring, monetizing our language data, which is perfect for NLP applications, as well as public contracts, which we've already engaged with governments in having reasonable success. In terms of marketing, I have various contracts across the United Nations, governments, corporates, and NGOs across Africa, which we've already had quite a lot of success engaging with. And we also plan to push out our material over social media such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. In terms of the team, I'm Charles van Horst. I'm an artificial intelligence specialist. I sit on various strategy boards, including at Deloitte and Ikampu Youth. We have Farrell Struhl, who is an experienced edtech entrepreneur. And then we have Masango and Nathan, who are experienced web and tech developers, and they form our tech team. Getting to where we are now, we started the eTrack program in September 2019 with some basic software. In November, we met with the head of the DBA LSTM and got some exciting feedback as to our service. We completed the next iteration of our software, met with local government to receive more positive feedback, and obtained content in the Sasson Zala Foundation from the Wande in January. In February, we were named one of the top 10 EdTech startups in Africa by Ngini. In March, we sourced additional content, software, and team members, which has really boosted our offering and is very, very exciting. In April, we then integrated the Weza and Jens technology we acquired and also appeared on DSTV to talk about Same Start and education under COVID-19. In the next 6 months, we plan to raise funding, digitize and translate content, build our team, refine our software, test everything further, refine our model, and finally to go to market on a large scale. In 3 years' time, we plan to be the #1 EdTech company in Africa with a full scope of world-class content in all major African languages. We aim to partner with governments across Africa to improve the educational offerings and include functionalities such as forums, tutoring, and analytics in our product. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can Contigo get ready? While they're getting ready, Sheila, do you want to share any experiences with the Same Start team?
Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome from us. We are Contigo Protego, which translates as the shield that protects. Today, myself, Sean, the CEO, Rowan, the CTO, and Yafan, the CLO and CFO, joining online, are very excited to showcase our company and product to you. Contigo Protego has created a product called the Shield, which, in a nutshell, can be described as a security guard that fits in your pockets.
We have innovated to transform the student card carry case into a security device with a built-in panic button. Once pressed, the nearest CPS officer is automatically assigned to the alert and guided to the student's precise location through GPS. Looking at our business model, we have a per unit cost of 400 Rand in bulk with a 100 Rand per annum maintenance cost. The device would then be sold at 700 per unit, thereafter with a 200 Rand maintenance cost every subsequent year. This model employs a low-risk payment approach where universities order by paying the year prior. They then recoup this cost from student fees, and since this forms part of their tuition fees, it allows for this cost to be covered by students' funders.
Our value proposition is tremendous. We have created an inconspicuous panic button built into the back of a student and staff carry card holder, which ingeniously pairs with the existing behavior of carrying your student card with you at all times. The Shield is a standalone device without the need for a cell phone and enhances the response time of campus protection services. Most importantly, the Shield empowers students to feel and actually become safer. We devised and tested a three-pronged marketing approach. This involved contacting vice chancellors directly, engaging further with vice chancellors and their referees, formulating proposals and meeting face-to-face and online. And these strategies were simple yet effective and led not only to an expanded stakeholder relationship, but very importantly, significant traction, which we will detail more later on.
To learn more and from our actual users, we conducted the following focus groups with student leaders, as well as senior undergraduate engineering students at UCT. From the feedback received, we see that students are willing to pay between 700 to 800 as a once-off fee charged to their student accounts. Students also mentioned that they would carry the cardholder and expressed great enthusiasm with sentiments such as, "This is the best security solution I've heard of thus far." Our board of directors consists of a multidisciplinary team, with Yafan being a business lawyer, Sean, who works in higher education with a background in psychology, and myself, who is a student studying electrical engineering. Our advisory to the board consists of a business strategy advisor, who is Rowan Spazzoli, who works as a lecturer at UCT and was the founder of AllSafe. Our marketing strategy advisor is Nikita Joseph, who currently works as a marketing specialist for Simfi Africa. And our social impact and responsibility advisor is Janice Leong, who worked as a product specialist for a Fortune 500 company in the USA and is currently a regional director at Humanitarian Affairs.
At the start of the eTrack program, we were in a strong position. We had initial stakeholder engagements with universities that had commenced. Our business was registered, our executive team formed and board of directors formalized, our product description finalized, our website created, and focus groups with university students concluded. At the end of the 12-week eTrack program, we had made immense traction. We now had 6 universities who had agreed to a pilot, copyrighted branding complete, our advisory board well established, our software developers confirmed and in the development process, 3D prototype designed and 3D printing pending, accompanied with beautiful CAD design drawings, and patent and copyright processes having commenced.
These represent the 6 universities who have agreed to pilot test our product, with the University of Ilorin being the largest university in Nigeria, where there is also full MTN coverage.
What we are seeking going forward is startup capital to finalize the MVP and pilot testing, and we will be very proactive in this phase. We're seeking support to bolster software development, ideally using MTN LTE infrastructure, and we're looking to negotiate the potential of MTN to buy in as a key equity partner. 3 years from now, we foresee the Shield being in 8 universities with 200,000 users and 40 million rand conservatively in profit. We believe in our vision because we believe in our product. On behalf of Contigo Protego, thank you very much for listening to our pitch today.
Thank you so much, Contigo team. Next up is Visa. Can Visa get ready, please?
Can everyone say it?
Yes. Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dumisani Ngubeni, the CEO of Visa Labs. I'm with Thomas Fiedler, the CTO of Visa Labs. Visa Labs is an edtech startup which uses augmented reality to visualize the educational content for high school South African students. South Africa is currently going through an educational crisis where there are schools with no functional labs and there are students with learning disabilities, and most of them are destigmatized. Learning disabilities such as dyslexia, dyscalculia, and also slow learners. And also in some schools, especially in schools in previously disadvantaged backgrounds, there are limited educational resources for the students. And also the content that they are using to learn is not interactive enough, and that it affects their maths and science results. The market potential is, so the FET market in South Africa is between 100 and 140 million. And here in the Western Cape, it's about 10 million. And one of our competitors currently, Answer Series, owns about 45% of the national educational market.
So we decided to build a low-tech, easy-to-use solution, which is an app for high-tech solutions. And for us to do that, we use AVR, which is augmented and virtual reality, and 3D animation to visualize subjects such as maths and physics. Now, as we move to the next slide, in our demo, this is how the textbook look most of the time. We extrapolated 2 chapters that appear in physics. Now, in VISA, this is how these chapters are appearing. This is the periodic table values, and this is how we have animated them in our application. And on the next slide, you can see Coulomb's law, which is one of the formulas that they use to analyze electricity. So we demonstrate the virtual lab that the learners can use instead of not knowing or having an idea of how things work. So this is how a virtual lab looks like. And on the next slide, we demonstrate exploring Mars using VR. Now, this is something like a user journey of a student that is already on the user case. Okay, so that is one of the environments in Mars. And our app also has got a learner management system that can be integrated into schools' APIs, or if schools cannot have the learner management system, we can provide one, and it is CAPS aligned and it is user-friendly for learners to use. And then we also have got an app that we prepared for scenarios like this. We call it the COVID intervention that we are going to use. It's called Visa Tune, which is something. Sorry?
Apologies for the distraction. We are unable to see your screen.
Oh. Where did you lose me? At which stage of the presentation did you lose us?
Second or third slide. Don't worry about it. You can start your presentation again, and we'll do the countdown from the beginning.
Okay. Okay.
So we haven't seen. I think we only saw 2 or 3 slides at the beginning.
Okay.
Apologies to everyone who's tuned in.
Okay. Can everyone see now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
We'll start the time. We'll restart the time for you.
Okay. Can I start?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dumisani Ngubeni, the CEO of Visa Labs. I'm at Thomas Fiedler, the CTO of Visa Labs. Visa Labs is an edtech startup which uses augmented reality and virtual reality to visualize the educational content for high school students in South Africa. South Africa is currently going through an educational crisis where there are schools with no functional science labs, where students cannot do scientific experiments at school. There are also students who come from previously disadvantaged backgrounds who have learning disabilities like dyslexia and slow learners who suffer the most, especially with subjects like science and maths. And also there are schools with limited educational resources where now these students cannot reach their full potential because of this, and their content is not interactive enough. And at Visa, we also believe that intelligence does not exist, and if it does, it is governed by one's proximity to information. And that is one of our goals, is to bring information to the students who do not have it. The market potential. So the current FET market in South Africa is between 100 and 140 million. And here in the Western Cape, it's about 10 million. And our competitor, which is Answer Series, owns about 45% of the national FET market, which is around 30 million per year.
And for us, we decided to come with a solution, which is a low-tech, easy-to-use app for high-tech solutions. Now, our solution is an app that uses augmented. Now, on our next slide, you see how the book looks like, which is a manual that the learner used. We extrapolated on 2 chapters, a periodic elements and Coulomb's law. Now, in Visa, if a learner is using our app, this is how it will appear. We made a small video short of using the app in AR and VR. The first one is periodic table values, and the second one is the virtual lab simulation of the formula you saw behind the screen. So this is how it looks. So a learner can experiment, perform science lab experiment using our app. And the third one is a learner using VR to explore space. Particularly here, we went to Mars. This is a user journey of how a learner can use our app to explore Mars. So this is an example. Thank you. And then our app also can integrate with an existing learner management system, or it can also be a providence for those who don't have a learner management system, for schools that currently do not have learner management system. And we also have got an intervention app that we are planning to use and launch as a promotional campaign, and for us to engage teachers and students. It is something like the video conferencing that we are using, but it is tailor-made for high schools and teachers, and it is very user-friendly on their side of life. Now, our product packaging is organized in a form of premiums. Our first premium, which is something that we recommend, is called the Gold Premium, which is a combination of an app that is a cell phone that is VR enabled, a VR mask, and a subscription account. Now, our app combination of all our kit, it will come at 4.5 on Premium Gold plus 60 Rand per month per learner as a subscription. Now, if a school or our client has got their own smartphones, they can buy our Premium Silver, which is 60 Rand per month per learner, which gives them our app, a user account, and a VR mask and an augmented reality. And we also have tailor-made solutions for corporate and TVETs, such as engineering and product education. Now, in an average scenario, we understand that if we can reach 50 schools within 3 years after our launch, we are able to generate a profit income of 1.4 million between now and 2022. So that is our growth per market in terms of 10 years. So our competitive advantage is that we are using 3D interactive visuals and models. Our app is affordable as a combo instead of buying in single units. And we are the first VR market to use low-end equipment as compared to others. Most of our competitors, they sell in single, they use static media to intervene, and they use high-end equipment. And this is our attraction up to so far. During our preliminary investigation, we engaged with 3 high schools around Philippi. We have also collaborated with KTH University and international exchange students for preliminary assessments and user case analysis and outside verification. And through the e-track problem, we went through the business stabilization processes. And through the exit result, we managed to attract an angel investor. We were awarded an AWS credits that will help our backend hosting services. And we also have workspace and Wi-Fi provision. So we are not having current worries with our expenses for rent and data and stuff. And on our synergy, we are working to build a relationship with stakeholders, CSI and Western Cape Education Department, which can be a client on behalf of previously disadvantaged students. We are also working on an intervention campaign that I mentioned earlier. And this is our market and distribution.
Our market and distribution is, we have been in contact with the Department of Education. Right before the lockdown, we had a meeting with the Department of Education, and we've also been in contact with the SAPC TV to have our content live on SAPC, and to also teach kids, to teach learners on TV using our content and our technology. Also, we'll be doing promotions via social media, and also doing direct sales to private high schools and also to affluent parents.
Now, here are our needs. We need 1.5 million investment between now and our rollout phases. We also need smartphone distributing partners. I would like to throw the gauntlet also to MTN if they can be in the space of providing us with a partnership on how they can distribute cell phone if we are to get contracts of selling cell phone. And we are also looking for market entry partnerships. Anyone who has got access to high schools or education and they can provide market entry, we are ready to negotiate partnerships with. And this is me, my team, Tumisani Nguben is the founder and CEO. It's me, Thomas, CTO, and our angel investor and business advisor and chairperson is Mikael Samuel. Thank you very much. That is our website if you want to find out more information. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to the Visa team. Apologies for the glitches that you experienced. Next up is Team Lalela to do their presentation.
Hi, good morning. My name is Jay Chauhan, and I'll be introducing Lalela, a mobile hearing health tech company. Millions of people in Africa live with a hearing loss, and there is no cost-effective solution available to meet this need. Lalela is able to provide a cost-effective and time-saving solution that allows more healthcare practitioners and organizations to conduct more hearing tests at a lower cost. Lalela consists of a mobile phone, headphones, and our innovative application. It enables users with limited training to conduct tests, manage results, and refer patients for additional management. Through a cost leader approach, we are able to offer flexible payment options, one device for all tests, making us more cost-effective than the current solutions on the market. We generate our revenue through subscriptions, per test billing, and data monetization. Our two target customer groups are individuals and organizations. Each group has different payment and workload capacity requirements, which has led us to offering a pay-as-you-go and a 2-year subscription model for individual
12 hours
customers, and 2 3-year contracts that can either be capped or uncapped for organizations. Our 3 marketing and sales strategies are online sales, word of mouth, and experiential marketing. We have found that these avenues are the preferred avenues for sales by each of the target markets. Our team consists of myself, Jay Chauhan, the co-founder and CEO, Jean-Pierre Leroux, co-founder and our CTO, and Sebastian Prim, our COO. Each of us have specific skills and expertise that we bring to the project. At the beginning of the eTrack program, we had a business plan, a proof of concept, but we had a lot of development work to do. During the eTrack program, we have made tremendous progress. Some of our key milestones include improving our business plan and registering a company, addressing intellectual property and legal company administration matters, completing our front and back end development, and having discussions with 2 mining companies and 2 universities who have expressed interest in purchasing and conducting research on our device. And finally, this has led us to a point where we are ready for field testing and one step closer to launching. Our next steps include attracting seed funding or investment, validating our product to international standards, partnerships with MTN as a telco partner, and negotiation of sale contracts with our customers, and finally, obviously, making sales. Over a 3-year period, our plan is to enter the individual and organizational markets, both locally and regionally, through tender applications as well as government partnerships. In 3 years, we will be in most of the South African provinces, most of the Southern African Development Committee countries, become profitable, and be the #1 mobile audiology provider. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Team Lalela. The next up is the Dream Factory.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. We are the Dream Factory Foundation team. Dream Factory Foundation is an NPO that empowers youth, marginalized youth through education, and we have impacted over 55,000 youth in South Africa, Botswana, and Namibia. Our programs have been geared to ensuring that all youth have access to ICT and digital skills, which is the key in the changing world of work. Hence our work with Google, where we have been recently named as Google's #1 implementing partner for their computer science initiative. As a result, our work spans for almost a decade. Not only are we knowledgeable of the township and rural populations, but have also created strong relationships with the local government, community leaders, communities, schools in the Western Cape, Eastern Cape, and KZN. As a sustainability plan, we have launched the Dream Factory Enterprise, and the values of the Dream Factory Enterprise mirror the foundation's values. As Dream Factory Enterprise trains and employs township and rural youth when implementing its projects for its corporate clients. Our team has experience in the NPO, corporate finance, and public education sectors, and expertise range from risk assessment, control system design, project management, software programming, quantitative and qualitative research design, and implementation, monitoring and evaluation, as well as teaching.
A very big thank you to the USB Venture Program, because through this program, this team has been able to really refine and solidify the business model of the enterprise. So here goes. We identify a client and we engage with them fully to establish a client spec. The services that we then provide are the following: access, where we're using our already existing relationships in the townships with the different stakeholders and the community at large. We get them to inform them about their products. Here we tell them about the market behavior and the response to their products and services. Implement, whatever the project or strategy is to implement, we have a team ready to be an implementing partner to any client. Convenience, see us as a team on the ground for you. So where are we now? So our current strategy has really been about looking at our already existing corporate funders and donors in Dream Factory Foundation to offer them these services. We have then subsequently reallocated some of these corporate clients to the enterprise. So we have currently secured a second year of implementation with Google through the CS First program, where we are teaching young people throughout the townships coding skills. But what we've also been able to do is through the USB Venture Program, we've been able to secure Ayoba. Yes, Ayoba is our client, and we are currently in the pre-pilot phase of introducing the Ayoba app to the Khayelitsha Township. So where are we going with all of this? We really want to expand our reach in the township spaces in South Africa. Next, we want to exceed revenue target of 3 million Rand in the next 3 years. A very conservative amount, which we're very confident to exceed. But we also want to increase our customer base to move from Ayoba to Google to others, private and public sector. So what is our ask? Here you can be involved with what we are doing by 1, providing access to technical and expertise advisory support in entering into the market that we're currently engaged in. Number 2, we really want to establish physical presence in these township spaces. So be a partner as we create the innovation space in the townships. But also other things are like internet access and also zero rating websites, content and platforms. That's from the Dream Factory Enterprise. Thank you.
Thank you so much to the Dream Factory. Next up is Zaga team.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, thank you so much. My name is Clement Makorwa, and I represent Zaga Mobile Payments. It's a payment platform for the informal sector market. to make payments easy, safe, and affordable. The word Zaga is commonly used in the townships and rural areas to talk about money. Now, the problem that is facing most of the South African informal sector is that cash is prone to theft, robberies, and cash in transit. And currently, 90% of payments made in South Africa are made in cash. Cash also has no transaction history data, which means that the people who are doing informal businesses have a lack of access to funding due to the lack of data. Also, of late, we know that cash is a potential carrier of bacteria and viruses and germs. Secondly, the problem that is there with card payments, the other alternative to cash, is that they have high transaction fees, they have expensive card machines, and for the FMCGs, there's no CRM solution that goes with the card payments. The third problem that we have noticed is that has to do with domestic money transfers. Currently, bank EFTs account for 50% of domestic transfers. Long-distance taxis are doing it at 25%. And then there's also retailers like Shoprite and Pick n Pay, which account for 20%. However, there is less than 5% of mobile phone money transfer. And here lies the opportunity for growth. And the bigger opportunity is that the South African smartphone penetration is now at 80%, according to the data. Now, we did a research with the UCT, and through 360 respondents, we found that safety, trust, and ease of use and customer support would actually drive the adoption of mobile payments in the informal sector. So currently, there's something like 816,000 formal SMEs. However, 86% goes into the informal sector, and that is our total addressable market. So the serviceable market within that 86% is 36 for informal SMEs, and then the one that we are actually targeting is the serviceable obtainable market of 50%, which accounts for 2.89 million survivalist entrepreneurs. These include your shebeens, your spaza shops, your street traders and takeaways, even hair care people and salon owners and recycling businesses. So our solution is a safe, easy, and affordable mobile payments platform where you can make instant cashless payments. You can make contactless payments with QR code. That means there's no risk of contacting germs and bacteria. Also, you can send and receive money over long distances. The business model that we are going for, especially on the mobile payment side, is subscription fee. And then on the remittances side, that means on the sending and receiving of money, we're going for transaction fee. And also, we will offer data analytics services, meaning that our businesses or our platform can grow up to incorporating artificial intelligence and machine learning. Now, the key matrices that we will be looking at as a business through our sales and marketing is we want to, first of all, for the first year, we're looking to onboard over 10,000 merchants, local merchants. And then the cost of customer acquisition, we're looking at is at a low 240 per customer. And we've got a 3-to-1 ratio for the cost of customer acquisition. Regarding the cost of financing the project, we have calculated it according to the cost of the minimum viable product, the operational cost, the marketing and advertising cost, and the key staff roles. We are looking at around a seed funding requirement of around 5.1 million rands. The competition as it stands currently, we have SnapScan, which is not really looking at the market that we're looking at. Zappa is not really looking at the market we're looking at because they're looking more at the restaurant market. And then there's Yoko, which uses card payments. Now, uCasher is the closest competitor that we have. However, overall, we score mostly on the points of user friendliness, brand image, and then the functionalities of the app itself. Now, the product roadmap, we started with the market research with UCT. We made the payment product design, we tested it, and then we went through the brand and venture development when attending the e-track solution space with MTN and UCT. Now we are looking to create the minimum viable ecosystem with our partners, and then we hopefully would, once we raise the cash that we require, we will be able to launch in September of 2020. We have a diverse team that has business people as well as developers, an attorney, and we've got Gigi Alcock, the renowned author of Casinomics. Now, the next level requirement is that we would like to test our hypothesis. Currently, we've been able to connect to the NetBank API marketplace. We have discussed our requirements with Mastercard, and they're willing to be part of the pilot. We are hoping to incorporate the chat of IOBA through MTN, and we've also initiated the Department of Postal Communications and Postal Services regarding the So yeah, so that is basically our requirements, and we thank you for the opportunity that has been afforded. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tim Zaga. Next up is Green Ed.
Hi there, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
I'm not seeing my screen, hold on. Tested this a few times, sorry. Turn that off. And now, what are you seeing?
It's blank. We can see it now.
Okay, do you see it as a slideshow or with the side bits?
With the side panel.
Okay, let me try something different. Sorry, this worked yesterday. Apologies, guys.
Michelle, you can present with the side panel if you don't mind.
I think I've got it now. Sorry, it worked yesterday, but try a new approach. Hello, we're Green Ed, welcome. We are an online platform that aims to provide an educational alternative to fill a need in the market. In order to improve our situation on Earth, South Africa has set targets and policies to help to make reductions by 2030. However, these policies have very little guidance on how to get there. We need people to do things better, and to do that, we need to educate and train them as quickly as possible. This is the need we are targeting. We have been working in this space for about 20 years and have noticed that the educational opportunities for both current professionals as well as those new to the market is very much lacking. In particular, how this applies
Michelle,
to the...
don't see your slides.
You don't see the slides?
No.
Okay, sorry. Do you want to maybe go with someone else, and I'll sort out my side?
I think just continue, please, and then we can share the slides with everyone else after the session, because we can hear what you are saying.
Because now I'm stuck in full screen mode. Oh dear. I'm really.
Hi, Michelle. Please don't panic. You can continue with the presentation. Don't stress about the slides.
Okay, but do you see my screen, my desktop?
No, we don't.
Just opening it again. Do you see it now, the slides?
No, we don't.
I feel better if someone else could go, and then I'll come back.
Premu, are you ready?
I am ready. Can I go ahead?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. Present. Hi, I'm assuming everyone can see my screen right now.
Yes, we can see.
Great. Okay. So this is Premu, an on-demand beauty platform for beauty and wellness services. So what does life look like post the lockdown for high-touch services? Results that were released last week in South Africa revealed that a lot of customers or participants in that survey, they all agreed that they still have an intention to return to using the services that they have become accustomed to, including the beauty services. So basically, they still want to look good and feel good about themselves when the services they're consuming, and then the people that are offering the services, as well as just the safety in the environments where they're having those services. I'm Tuli Hlongwane. I am the founder and managing director of an online platform called Premu. We are connecting service providers with customers to offer their services by creating job opportunities for the service providers operating from different locations, and they have an opportunity to maximize their schedules at the right prices, working from convenient locations. So they are matched with customers that are also tech savvy, who want to look good and feel good, and also conscious on how they utilize their time. So the solution is a simple, easy to use platform that manages the bookings, enables the chats. Visual connections is what we're also testing now, and also facilitating payments using our AI-powered technology. So how big is this market? The total number of employers in this sector is 7,370 who are employing these skills, and they're making 5.12% of the total 144,000 employers in South Africa. So this industry is worth $27 billion in the Middle East and Africa, and South Africa alone is $4.5 billion. The demand for this user profile is increasing, and opportunities to scale are enormous at low margin costs. And we are targeting the defined demographics, and our approach is really to maximize and increase the customer engagements by using the digital channels as well as direct and personal channels. So our business model is simple: per transaction, that our freelancers have the flexibility in terms of scheduling and also pricing. This is just an example of how they can generate an income by just doing one service per day, 21 days per month. And per annum, Sally can easily make 154,000 rands. And besides Sally, there's 8,000 other mobile spa owners that are available in the country. And the team is, the board members is myself with more than 20 years IT experience, working with Bonso, who is a human capital professional, speaker, published author, as well as Bonga, who is an investment banker, who's got experience both local and international companies. And then the partners that we work with is the technology partner, Clit Labs. They have invested in the platform and they are a high-edge technology company. We have advisors as well, strategic advisors that we're working with. We are also part of the current cohort of the Solution Space eTrack, hence us presenting. And last year we won the 2019 GIZ Award for the Best Female Entrepreneur Award. Before we started on eTrack, we had the technology and the MVP product was ready, and we just were sitting on just over 100 service providers on the platform, still working on our processes, more especially the legal contracts and support. And we were then working mainly on 3 operational areas across South Africa. Since then, we have clearly defined our markets and the business model that we want to take going forward, which is a B2B as well as a B2C model. We've also identified the partners that we will be working with going forward, and the appointment of our board, of course, and we have slightly revamped the look that we had. And from the launch of the MVP product in May 2019, we are currently testing what we call virtual services. And plan is in 2 months' time, we should be able to launch the services as well as the products on the platform. And by the end of this year, we should have full adoption across South Africa by leveraging partnerships and ready to scale up and expand beyond the South African borders. So what is it that we are asking for? So we believe in passion with a purpose, and our aim is to support, grow, increase earnings, upskilling of communities, which are mainly women-owned businesses. So we are asking for help in connecting with us to our world-class companies and services out there. We're also asking for support in terms of investment to be able to grow our platform. So we're asking that if you can please connect with us, because we're definitely looking for investments. And with the changes in the environments going forward, we might be needing to implement new processes that we didn't have in place previously. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Premu. Michelle, are you ready for us?
Microphone helps. Can you see my desktop?
Yes, we can.
Okay, let's give this another shot. Okay, hello, we're Green Ed, and we are an online platform that aims to provide an educational alternative to fill a specific need in the market. The gap we've identified is this. In order to improve the situation with our Earth, our government has set targets and policies to help, such as achieving reductions by 2030. However, these policies have very little guidance on how to get there. We need people to do things better, and to do that, we need to educate and train them as quickly as possible, and this is where we can help. For example, one route to achieving significant impacts is to make our buildings perform better and consume less, which also relates to many of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, as well as our own domestic policies. We've been working professionally in this space for about 20 years, and we've noticed that the education opportunities are few for current professionals as well as those new to the market. In essence, we are an online provider of modular courses and training on topics specific to green design and sustainability, and particularly how it applies to our African context. We are aiming to disrupt and improve upon the traditional model and limitations of continuing professional development. The CPD seminars with their outdated text-heavy bullet point presentations, and move to a self-paced, on-demand, and easily accessible version with fresh and engaging content. Being digital provides more personal convenience. You can stop and start taking courses whenever suits you and learn from wherever you can find Wi-Fi. The ease of distribution excuse me, also means that we can get credit earning opportunities to professionals that live outside of the city centers, where before they had to navigate traveling and event times. So our initial audience would be professionals who need the CPD credit annually. We provide a catalog of courses, they learn and earn credit. And we're aiming to offer this at a low or no cost to the attendees. How we generate revenue is our other customers, the product manufacturers, who already have budgets for trying desperately to get the attention of professionals and currently hope that through conventional advertising, their target market will somehow understand their products and how to use them. They may even have CPD courses, but these usually are missing an important underlying educational context. So we work with them to create an educational course that correlates their technology or product with appropriate sustainability concepts. This course then becomes this course is then offered to their target market as above and becomes a marketing tool that foremost educates their customers, provides value, builds a relationship, all before even entering into the sales process. You may recognize this as commonly used content marketing, but it's not happening much in this industry, and we think it would be very useful. We have also identified other customer segments with similar needs. They all need relevant content with low time intensity at a low cost. And we are focusing first on South Africa, but we have interest from other emerging green building markets that are asking for the same type of content and where cost-effective training will be even more critical. We'll be marketing through channels already used to disseminate education opportunities to their members and therefore should be low cost to us. And our founders and current leadership are 3 architects and business owners who over the years have fulfilled a variety of roles in the green industry. Through the Solutions Space program, we also engaged with Kyle Dutton, who has provided valuable insight and business strategy. Our journey began a little over 2 years ago, so we had some groundwork when we entered this program. We had a website with courses on offer, a newsletter with 2,000 subscribers. We have held webinar courses, we've tracked the metrics, and we've tested the market with both paid courses and free, which then informed our financial model. All indications pointed to a very interested audience who were equally frustrated with the CPD status quo. We engaged with potential sponsor partners and discovered that most were very interested, but ultimately seemed unsure how to incorporate this with their established marketing process and budgets. Going through the Solutions Space program facilitated many things for us. From a side hustle, this program provided some urgency, accountability, focus, and scaffolding for us to evolve into a business. We stepped back and reevaluated what functionality we wanted, both now and in the future. We explored and evaluated software solutions to these things. In particular, we incorporated a new learning management system, which then required a compatible website. So we decided to start over from scratch with the website, which is nearly ready and will provide increased capabilities. We are converting our course material to the new format, and we've revamped our sales strategy. What we couldn't see coming was the crazy state of affairs we currently have now. Almost overnight, the world has pivoted to online work, education, and communications. This will be a paradigm shift, in the very least, for education. Where our target customers previously seemed unsure how online education fit into their marketing efforts, we are anticipating in the new context, they will be more amenable to trying new approaches going forward. In conclusion, up next for us is to make sales and sign up partners. We will be rolling out a focused sales effort in the next few weeks, and then we will have a public relaunch of our website shortly thereafter. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Next up is Accessero.
Hi there.
Hi.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Just want to put it in my... There we go. All right, hello everyone. Everyone needs a lawyer, right? But lawyers are expensive. In fact, according to the Legal Practice Council of South Africa, the average hourly rate of an attorney with 10 years experience is 2,500 Rand per hour. This figure is even higher at larger firms. Considering the fact that it takes 10 hours, on average, to draft an agreement, you can begin to see why lawyers are notorious for exorbitant fees. At a time when the vast majority of startups fail because of financial constraints, you've got to allocate your working capital to business-critical items. This is now even more relevant in light of the current global pandemic. So what do? You Google a template and you hope for the best, or you go without, which is fine until it goes wrong. But what if you had access to a full suite of reliable legal services at a price that makes sense for small business? Enter Ask Cicero, the online legal services website that utilizes a proprietary algorithm that lets users generate their own legal documents. In short, we're making legal affordable and accessible to small businesses. Our ideal customers could be anyone, really. Like Ilsa, a beauty spa owner who has an ongoing need for employment contracts, or Patrick, a graphic designer who needs supply contracts with his clients to avoid non-payment of his fees, or Ashwin, who has started an e-commerce website that needs a bulletproof returns policy, or maybe even Angela, a semi-retired businesswoman that needs NDAs and MOUs for her new ventures. We've been aggressively redefining our business model. Now, not only will our users get access to R500,000 Rand worth of legal documents, we are also providing our subscribers with up to 1 million Rand legal cover in the event that they become involved in litigation. This means that with Ask Cicero, an entrepreneur is provided with legal protection before they begin their business, while they're in operation, and in the event that things don't go according to plan. We've also added a number of new features. For example, our tamper-proof technology that assigns each document with a unique identification number, and our electronic signature service, which helps our users to be more eco-friendly. Our entire system is compliant with the highest international standards, UATA and eSign, which are admissible in all international courts. But how much does it cost? Ask Cicero operates on a tiered subscription model. There are 3 paid subscription plans and 1 free plan to onboard future paid subscribers. Based on what we know about the average rate of attorneys in South Africa, these prices represent a saving of 3,000% compared to traditional solutions. And that's per contract. It sounds ridiculous, but it's true. Our target market is tech-savvy startups and SMMEs within South Africa that have an ongoing need for legal agreements. According to a study conducted by the Small Business Institute of South Africa, the number of formal employing SMMEs in our country is just over 250,000 businesses. We project that the initial subscriber base within the first year of operation will be just under 600 users. Our research through the Google marketing platform indicates that based on a modest budget, we can expect an onboarding of 50 subscribers per month. The marketing and distribution channels we will be targeting will be paid advertising on social networks, search marketing, and display network advertising. We're projecting top-line earnings of 1.8 million Rand in year 1, 3.5 million Rand in year 2, and 4.7 million Rand in year 3. In terms of scalability, there are a number of different options for us. For example, scaling to additional geographic markets and legal jurisdictions, a custom branded solution for large corporates, or perhaps even extending our document generation solutions to personal law or even more specialized professions, everything from makeup artists to doctors. We've identified 4 potential competitors in the South African market and 1 potential competitor in the US. While all of these businesses have components of what Ask Cicero is, none have managed to capture the innovative business model we're adopting. In terms of our team, we've got all the bases covered: legal, tech, marketing, strategy, and of course, finance. Each of our members has more than 15 years of experience in their respective markets, experience that they're putting towards the Ask Cicero experience. I'm Nicole Casalletti for Ask Cicero. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Well done to all the teams that presented. Next on the agenda is Ms. Sheila Yabo, Solution Space Program Manager, to announce the awards.
Thanks, Dileka. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Thank you so much. Well done once again to everyone that pitched today. It's not easy to talk about what you are passionate about in front of people, but as you can see, it has been months of hard work for the ventures, the startups, and all the members of the team, and including our team. You have just had 9 innovative solutions, a discrete security-enabled panic button called Contego Protego, Zaga, a mobile remittance payment platform, online beauty and wellness service platform Premu, Lalela, a mobile device odometer, Ask Cicero, an automated legal consultancy, a visual interactive learning kit called Visa, GreenEd, an online education platform for sustainable built environment, an online conceptual learning platform for high school pupils called Same Start, and lastly, Dream Factory, which provides an educational program for youth to drive entrepreneurial development and employment opportunities. We have been privileged to work with all of you that pitched today, and we are so proud and we recognize the progress that you've made over the past 3 months. As my colleagues mentioned earlier on, we will be recognizing a few startups today, but that doesn't mean that we also do not we believe in you. We will continue to support your startups through the UCT ecosystem. And now I will be announcing a few awards. The first one, the 2 startups that I'll be mentioning now, will be receiving co-working space at the IOBA office in Cape Town, mentorship and technical assistance from IOBA. The first startup that will be receiving that is Premu. I can't clap. People are not clapping. This is so sad, but
Thank you.
And
welcome to unmute your mics for the clapping.
I have to say that I have the power to mute everyone, so clap and then stop. The second startup that will be receiving mentorship and technical mentorship, including co-working space from IOBA, is Same Start. So as you might already know, the eTrack program does not only focus on the ventures, but we also focus on high impact individuals that we believe can take our country and Africa beyond to create creative solutions, but also relevant solutions. So we also recognize African talent, and we would like to recognize Clement Makolwa as the high impact individual for this cohort. This award is based on the resourcefulness and the passion to learn. So Clement is the high impact individual for the cohort. And now, the last award, which I believe is the biggest for this program, is the Most Progress Award. When we were deciding on this award, we looked at where the startup was when they began the program, and the amount of traction that they've managed to get in the past 3 or 4 months. This startup will get a 50,000 rands cash injection into their startup. They will also get mentorship and co-working space from Ayoba. And this startup is Lalela.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Wow.
Well, I also wanted to mention that when we speak about the work that we do, we are very big on getting out there, testing out the idea, not only thinking that because your friends like the idea, it's viable. We are also big on recognizing that we can all have good ideas and we can all nurture entrepreneurs and support entrepreneurs, but ideas are nothing without market access. And through our corporate partnerships, we have been able to also facilitate those relationships. And I just wanted to highlight once again that Dream Factory currently has Ayoba as a client. That's an example of how we are facilitating these relationships. And I urge everyone that is on this call, particularly from private South Africa, to help us in supporting our entrepreneurs. Thank you so much. This is not the end for everyone, including people that got awards and people that did not get awards. We as the Solution Space and the UCT community will remain to support you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sheila.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Solution Space team.
Before we go off, I have a few thank yous to make. Firstly, well done to all the teams and individuals that received awards. As Ero mentioned and Sheila also mentioned, MTN together with Ayoba and the Solution Space will continue to support all ventures. I would also like to thank Prof. Pakeng for joining us. Thank you to the team who worked tirelessly on making the program a success. Ms. Sheila Yabo for driving the program. Piwe Njapa for managing all logistics and the community. Sivunku for all marketing and comms. Thank you to our founding partner, the MTN Group, to the University of Cape Town and the Graduate School of Business, and also to our ecosystem partners, Thaisani Capital, Von Seedles, Ayoba, Heviek, AWS. Lastly, I would like to thank you as the audience for taking your time out and tuning in into our first virtual demo day.